Look, how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap! In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi Ando steadfastly insisted on his innocence. Why do you try to steal that case? Kana watched Achi's face intently.
Like I said, man, it looked heavy, so I just trying to help her out.
It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy wouldn't want to help a pretty girl. But Hitomi had just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set the case down. Oh.
She hadn't set the case down, so I figured that'd be something important inside.
An entry from Kana. Dick diary shot through his mind. Number 25. When the tongue slips, grab it and yank out the truth. Classic advice for questioning. Something important, you say, such as...
How the heck would I know?
Achi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. The standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kana didn't mind. Chasing down the criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking the case. Once again, he had Achi explain what he'd been doing, starting from the very beginning. When Kana finally emerged from the interrogation room for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't yet been able to determine, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his diary. Number 54. Haste makes waste. He felt his tension subside. Remembering the right maximum always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. We returned to confront Achi once more. You were there to act as an distraction, to mess up the investigation, weren't you?
Huh?
Achi looked a bit dumbfounded.
What are you on about?
Number 55. The truth hungers to be free. You hungry? Got some katsudon if you like. Japanese dish consisting of a bowl of white rice topped with breaded pork cutlet and egg. There are several variations. The egg is replaced with Worcestershire sauce and miso, where the pork is stewed in miso. Not typically when this could be served. This could be seen as baiting with food and is to be avoided. Achi nodded silently. Achi devoured the bowl of katsudon with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright then, spill it. What's this guy's after? Achi just shrugged. I don't know, he murmured, a thick slice of egg-laden pork between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? But Achi just shook his head as he inhaled his food. Resignedly, Kano flipped through his notebook once more. Let's see, number 115. Use the lights to your advantage. As the minutes ticked by, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever his suspect might be hiding. The experience began to feel strangely surreal. There are two voices, echoing hollowly in the investigation room. Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized that the questioning had been going on for nearly 5 hours. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tatana would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he pursued the Dick Diary like it was scripture. Number 116. The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Achi out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Get them while they're tired. Kano's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh? Okay. Achi's head slumped forward heavily. Nodding off was basically the same as nodding yes. Right? Mr. Coos, I did it. The young guy we grabbed at the handoff site, he finally confessed to the crime. What? What are you talking about? Kuz laughed in disbelief. We're just about to apprehend the mastermind here. Wow. Huh? Kano clutched his cell phone, dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, look, just wait there at HQ, okay? No, it can't be. We've been in this motherfucker 5 hours for nothing. After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano tendered his resignation. Guess I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. Why'd he quit? I guess because he was focused on a two-timing gangster. He dropped the Dick diary on his desk as he left the Shibuya precinct for the last time. Excuse me. How the fuck did I end up at the bad end? There was one choice and it said it wouldn't affect me. What? Kano wound up at a bad end. However, that does not mean the choice he made for Kano was the wrong one. One of the other protagonists, Archie Endo, has an impact on Kano's fate here. You can avoid a bad end by making proper decisions in another character's story. Oh, okay. For a detailed hint, check the tip by underlining the bad end title. Kano had every reason to suspect Archie, but arresting him turned out to be a mistake. If Archie hadn't approached Hitomi, this wouldn't have happened. Try playing Archie's story and make a choice that keeps him from going up to her. If you do that, Kano won't even have a chance to arrest him and things should play out differently. Gotcha. Okay. Because I was actually genuinely mad because I hadn't done anything to make Kano end up resigning. But now you can now select Archie. Okay, let's follow Archie's story. I could have sworn he was a girl, but I guess the long hair makes him look like a girl. Hold on a second. I ain't trying to see no dick now. Hey, we're getting a little close. Chill out, bro. Archie Endo called out at the door to his father's room.
Okay, I'm heading out. Sure.
His father sounded unconcerned. He didn't even open the door. Sure you don't want me to stay here in the shop?
It's not like we're gonna get any customers.
Archie grimaced. Yeah, I guess not. The drawer by the front door held a stack of heavy-duty trash bags. Archie pulled a few of them out. Guess it's gonna be that kind of day. He stuffed the trash bags into his pocket. Trash bags. And slipped on his favorite pair of sneakers. The entryway to Archie's room also led into the family shop. Various pieces of electronics were piled up like so much junk in the tiny retail store. The slightest bump brought the risk of an avalanche. Archie wove his way through the gaps in the appliances like a spelunker exploring a cave. From Shibuya Station, if you make your way past the 109 building and then up to Dorgansaka, you'll come across an old shopping district. Nestled on the outskirts is Endo Electronics, and the same place it's been for nearly decades. With its dimly lit interior, you'll find rows of wares, all caked in dust. At a glance, you might well assume the place was closed. A mom and pop place like Endo's couldn't compete with the big consumer chains booming throughout Shibuya. So far, The store has remained in business thanks to the locals who appreciated that they made house calls to do repairs. But things weren't looking good for the future. Aki, the oldest son and nominal successor to the business, had no interest whatsoever in working there. Achi stepped out of the shop and into the sunny morning air. The good weather lifted his spirits. Alrighty, time to do this. He unfurled one of the big garbage bags which caught the wind and fluttered like a cape. He then slowly made his way down to Shibuya Station, scanning his surroundings all the way. What's he doing? Sheesh, this place is filthy. He paused to pick up a plastic bottle that had been tossed on the ground. Then, with a heavy sigh, he slipped the crushed receptacle into his trash bag. He'd been picking up trash around town like this for about 6 months now. It had gotten so that that sort of garbage most people would hardly notice stood out to him like a sore thumb. Most days he'd fill his trash bag to the top by the time he made it from his house in Dogenzaka to the train station. Today he was halfway to the station when a woman's anxious voice caught his attention. "I'm sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry here." He looked up and saw a timid-looking woman being confronted by two men, one with brown hair, one with black. From the look of them, he guessed they were scouts for some hostess club. Why wouldn't hostess club be underlined? Most people wouldn't know what that is. I only know what it is thanks to Persona 5. He ran into this sort of thing pretty frequently on his trash cleaning walks around town. Another trash to be taken care of, to be honest. Achi quickly interposed himself between the girl and the two recruiters. "Hey, can't you see that you're bothering her, bruh?" "Huh? Who the hell are you?" The two men glared. "Take a hike, pal." Achi stood his ground. "Look, she ain't interested. You're just gonna have to find some other mark." The hustler's annoyance turned to up in rage. Well, listen to you. Got a bit of a mouth, huh, buddy?" The brown-haired thug smacked his lips around his chewing gum like a dog worrying about a bone. "How about we take this someplace more quiet, yeah?" But their street punk means that we're an alley where passersby are unlikely to interrupt. The girl stirred by uneasily, watching the ongoings. "Hey, take it easy. I'm not looking for trouble."
Is that supposed to be an apology?
On your knees and beg, pal. The man spat his gum onto the ground. Archie looked down at the glistening wad of gum on the sidewalk. His last shred of goodwill vanished. "You better pick that up. Right now." "What? Didn't you hear me? 'Cause I told you to get down on your knees and back." Archie's hand shot Aki's. I don't know how to say his name. I'm just gonna call him Archie. Archie's hand shot out, grabbing the man by the jaw. Whoa, easy, pal. The other man's bravado drained from his face. What the hell, did he just break his jaw? Archie tightened his grip on the brown-haired hustler's jaw. Sweat dripped from the man's reddening brow. Ooh. The man struggled, but Archie just tightened his grip. Gum's a real pain in the ass to clean up after it's gotten stick to the street, you know. Ever stopped to consider that? Wait, are you? The other hustler's panicked eyes had fixed on Archie's chest. Gah! Oh crap! That shirt, man! The guy's voice was starting to break. That's me! Mean clean! A guy with a mean clean shirt carrying on a trash bag? That means you're... His face went pale. Mean clean? Mean gleam? The other man's echoed the words to his held shut jaw, tears welling up in his eyes. Get it right, pal! Archie clenched the man's jaw harder still. It's mean clean. Whoa. We're sorry, man. You're Archie, right? Dude, we honestly had no idea. Come on, man, you gotta cut us some slack. The man scrambled to snatch the water gun off the street, stuffing it into his pants pocket. Finally, Archie let go of his companion. The brown-haired hustler was twisted up with fear, tears streaming down his cheeks. Gasping out hasty apologies, the two thugs scampered off. What the hell did this guy do to earn such a reputation? Hey, so... A shy smile came to the girl's face. Her name is Raiko Kanamura, a second-year student at the Academy's law school. The hustlers managed to corner her while she was on her way to a part-time job. This is a popular plot in trashy e-novels, for the main character to fall in love with the hustler like these guys, but such things rarely happen in real life. Thank you for saving me. No, I apologize. Huh? The girl stared in surprise. You were wanting to piece like that now and then, but don't hold it against us. Shibuya is a good town. Yeah, okay. Archie gave her a quick wave and turned and continued on his way to Dogenzaka. Archie was Shibuya born and raised. He was keenly aware of all the changes the ward had seen since he was a kid. Grocery stalls and inconspicuous little side streets, tiny parks nestled between buildings. Archie knew it was all like the back of his hand. Trash, human or otherwise, had no place in this town. Not on his watch. Archie made his way downtown toward Shibuya Station. Throngs of people shuffled to and fro across the Scramble. The view shifted constantly from one moment to the next. Almost as if the city itself were alive. And if the city was a living thing, then Shibuya Station was at its heart. With streets like, oh god, Bakamura Dori and Center Gai serving as the arteries pumping a bloodstream made of people. Today as ever, the heart was pumping to the blood at every nook and cranny of Shibuya. And there was Archie, just another part of this great urban organism. Guess I'm one of the city's white blood cells. Or wait, maybe I'm a red blood cell. Hold on. Is that right? Or did I have it right the first time? You had it the right first time, Archie. White blood cells eliminated pathogens from the bloodstream. Right. And then red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Right. Archie was probably thinking of white blood cells. He was. Remember, I gotta make a choice to keep him away from the girl. Emerging from his reverie, I think I just said that wrong, don't care. He noticed a rather conspicuous young woman standing by the statue of Hajiko outside Shibuya Station. Ooh, she's totally my type. To be up someone's alley, to be someone's cup of tea. Wonder if she's a model or small-time actress or something. Looks like she's waiting for someone. Probably another guy. Dang. Good looking as she was, there was no way she wasn't already taken. What kind of guy scored a girl like that? Probably the rich-ass CEO of an IT company or something. Crouching down to tie off the trash bag, he continued gazing wistfully at the girl. Then he noticed something peculiar. She was carrying a briefcase, a kind a businessman might use. It was a large case, and apparently so heavy she was struggling to hold it despite using both hands. Let's have Archie not approach Hitomi. Alright. I'm going to read both of them, but we already know which one we're going to go. Now, what kind of person makes a young lady lug around something like heavy like that? Archie figured he'd offer carry it for her. Well, first I got to dump this trash. He looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby. Now, Archie won't approach Hitomi, which means he will avoid being arrested by Kano. At the same time, Kano's fate will also change, and he will no longer wind up at a bad end. So let's switch back to Kano's story using the time chart. Press triangle to open it. Interesting. This is the time chart. It shows the protagonist's progression through the story. Decision points are marked with an intersection arrow. Kano's fate has changed based on Archie's actions. Select Kano's 1030 block and press X. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I suppose you could call it... Okay, this is where we read all that.
There he is!
I already read all this. Oh shit, now it's a new guy.
The man in the black coat. He's not Japanese. Looks like he looks to be in his early 30s.
Previously, Archie got mixed up with Kano and the police, but now, another man has appeared and said, by changing what Archie did, you've also changed Kano's story. A foreign man has emerged from the crowd about 15 feet where Hitomi was standing. He made his way toward her, his expression blank. He looks like a fucking kidnapper. He didn't match the description Hitomi had given them, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper was using an accomplice to snatch the ransom payment. Alright, Sasayama raised an eyebrow. This may be our guy. This was it. Kano swallowed a lump in his throat. He bent his knees, ready for action. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Was this the culprit, or perhaps... The stranger took hold of the briefcase. It was him! En masse, the detectives began to close in. Let's go, Kano! On it! Sasayama and Kano leapt into action, but they never expected what happened next. With the case clutched in both arms, the man feared suddenly running right toward them! What? What do you mean keep out? Hey man! It was just getting good! What do you mean keep out, bitch? Kano's story has suddenly hit a keep out! Keep out refers to a point in the story where your progress is currently stopped. In order to advance beyond a keep out, you need to jump from another protagonist story. At 10:30, Archie has the text, a young man in a suit, set as red keywords. Checking these red keywords would allow you to jump from Archie's story back to Kano's. Then let's head back to Archie's story and keep an eye out for that key phrase. Okay. This is getting pretty cool. Not even gonna front. This game's pretty cool. Try following the story from Archie at 10:30. Approach the girl. No, we're gonna still... Oh. No, stop that. We're gonna still choose the same, because we can't... We already changed it, so... Alright, first I gotta put the trash right. Huh? A man had come up beside the girl. He was dressed in black and he wasn't Japanese. It looked like they were having a conversation. The girl nodded tensely at something the man said. Archie stared. Something tells me that's not her boyfriend. The girl handed the briefcase over to the man. He took hold of it with his right hand and began walking briskly away. Jesus! Whoa! A nearby homeless man suddenly leapt over Archie and broke into a run as if he'd been waiting for this very moment. And as we know, that homeless man is Sasayama. Sprinting alongside him was a young man in a suit. Some words in the text appear to be in red. Red text donates important keywords like you jump between different protagonist stories. This allows you to shift between characters at specific points. These can also allow you to clear out a keep out in another character's story and let you read on. If you come across red text, press square to underline it and then press X. A window will appear allowing you to jump from one protagonist to another at that point and then press X to continue. The other character story after the... Let's give it a try. By performing a jump, you can advance another protagonist story. Press X to confirm and jump over to Kano. We broke the tape, so... Let's go, Kano! Okay, so here was where we got all tagged up. You did it! Jump successful. In 428, you will often need a jump to get past another character's keep out. Jump from the red keywords to clear a jump. To clear a keep out. Keep this in mind as you advance through the story. Okay, there won't be any more tutorial messages for a while. If you get stuck somewhere, try changing protagonists or making different decisions to advance. You can now use the time chart in the main menu. From the main menu, you can access gameplay explanations and adjust settings. Press triangle to open. Yep. But they never expect. Yeah, and then he's running towards them. What? Catching sight of the two detectives, the suspect staggered to a halt and then bolted off in a new direction. Kano whipped off his costume glasses and followed in hot pursuit. At the crosswalk, the signal changed to red and the flow of foot traffic abruptly stopped. Just as quickly, hundreds of cars all lunged back into motion. There was no escape for the culprit now, or so it appeared. The converging cops slowed their pace, confident the man was cornered. Then the foreigner bailed straight into the intersection, dodging between the oncoming cars without any hesitation. The mob of detectives came to a halt, not eager to rush to their deaths along with them. Kano, however, remained in hot pursuit, charging into the traffic at the crossing. Kano, are you crazy? Come back! Kano heard Sasayama shouting, but his feet kept carrying him onward. Ow! With shouts and sirens echoing from all around him, Kano closed in on the foreigner. Just a little closer. Just a little closer, and he'd been tackling range. He leaped forward, preparing to bounce, his eyes fixed on the culprit's feet. It was now or never. Kano, back off! Don't take him down! It was Q shouting through Kano's earpiece. Huh? Kano hesitated in surprise. Had he just been really ordered not to apprehend the fucking criminal? Let him go for now. The real purpose someplace else. What had happened to the plan? He'd been told that all personnel would secure the area ASAP. Didn't HQ want them to catch the perpetrator? Arrest team, stay on the foreigner's tail. Forensics team, get busy cross-referencing photos. Even if this foreigner was an underling hired for this one task, the police had now tipped their hand that they'd been lying in wait. If they didn't lock things down now and get more info on the kidnapper, a girl's life might be at stake. Kano recalled another maximum from his dick diary. Number 12. Always assume a worst case scenario. If Cruz had told him to let this guy go, that implied that he was counting on the team that was now in position. But if the crook had planned a way to break through the police dragnet and escape with the ransom, and he succeeded, what was the right call here? Should he take the guy down or back up after all? Ah, shit! I gotta follow orders. Because if I tackle him and then the girl ends up dying, it's on me. But if I let him go, I'm following orders. It's on the blood is on Cruz's hands. Let the other officers chase after this guy. Kano had his own job. Cruz's instructions have been clear. Let the other officers chase after the guy. Kano had his own job. He broke off for his pursuit, pointing the next wave of detectives in the direction of the foreigner had fled. Kano had almost gotten close enough to get a good look on that guy's face. But if Cruz had ordered him to let the guy go, well, his boss should know what he was doing. The was someone else's problem now. He had just ceased his pursuit when Cruz's panicked voice sounded shrill in his ear. Eep! Someone's taking a Tommy! Oh, fuck me. Kano recognized Cruz's trademark squawking immediately. Subject is male. He appears to be carrying a gun. He's fleeing in the direction of Mijidori. What? Kano could hardly believe it. Hitomi had been kidnapped? Has she been abducted by whoever had taken Maria? But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment the police took their eyes off her. Something's very wrong here. What in the fuck is going on? I don't know, dog. Kano hurried to search for the man who'd taken Hitomi. If he was heading toward Mijidori, there was a good chance he had gotten down one of the alleys nearby. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man. Another foreigner crossing an intersection a few dozen meters ahead. The man was dressed in all black, just like the guy who grabbed the ransom money. Cruz is right, the kidnapper wasn't acting alone. But wait, something was amiss. Hitomi isn't with him! Where the fuck was she? Kano skated around a corner and then stopped short. Hey, how you doing, bud? The man in black was standing there, pointing a gun right at him. Before Kano could react, the man fired. Ah, damn it. Kano felt hot all over, as if he were on fire. All except for his cheek pressed against the asphalt and the palms of his hands. They felt so cold. There was nothing he could do. Nothing, that is, except lie there and watch as his killer turned around and walked away. Did I just get another bad end? By trying to find the man that Kano ran into, hadn't been able to get near Hitomi. Oh, have Archie make the choice. What? But then if I make him talk, he's gonna resign and get a bad end. So I get a bat. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I tackle him. Let's see what happens then. Because it says I'm supposed to ask Archie to approach. But the issue there is, and then he resigns. I'm catching him. I'm taking him down. Letting the purpose escape is now too big of a risk. He had to catch this guy ASAP. The man darted down a narrow alleyway. Kano ran faster. The man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. Eep! Someone's taking... Yeah, we read all this. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Now, we're gonna go ahead and have Archie approach her, which gets him arrested. But maybe because I'm Archie, I can have Archie talk to him instead of just fall asleep. Or whatever the fuck. Yep. The girl kept shifting her grip. It clearly was a strain for her to keep holding the taste, but she didn't set it down. Whatever was inside, it had to be something pretty important. Archie made his way over to her, bristling inwardly at whoever had left her waiting like this. If I were you, I'd bust the head of the punk that's keeping you waiting. Huh? That thing looks heavy. Let me carry it for you. The girl stared back at Archie with wide eyes, but didn't say anything. Really, I'm happy to help. I'm not going to steal it or anything. His tone was hurried, and he impulsively reached for the briefcase. An instant later, a group of men descended on him on all sides. Hey, whoa, what the hell? For an instant, Archie froze, unable to process what was happening. He tried to run, but the men shoved him unceremoniously to the ground and held him there. They were shouting about something or other, but he couldn't make out their words. The more he tried to struggle, the harder they held him down. What the hell is this? You can tell us that down in the precinct. The man in the suit. Nope, alongside him, flashing a peach badge. What? You're arresting me? The heck did I even do? Instead of answering, they shoved Archie into a back seat of a patrol car. He gazed dejectedly out the window. He could still see the girl. He was now talking to a man with a cane. Was he the person she'd been waiting for? A moment later, the car turned the corner and the two of them slipped out of view. Archie slumped back in the seat, skulking and silent. Several hours passed. After a bunch of pointless questioning, the police determined he was innocent. What? And Archie came to pick him up. For a long while, Archie just stared intently out the window of the car. Finally, his father caught his attention. The old man seemed to be in a surprisingly good mood despite having to collect his son from the jailhouse.
Archie, there's something I want to talk to you about.
If it's about me taking over the shop, now is not the time, okay?
No, it's not that. Look, let's just get home first.
Sure, don't feel like going out today anyway.
But now I'm curious.
What do you want to talk about?
I got some good news. I think you'll be pleased.
Oh yeah, what's that? I'm not sure I like the sound of that. Please tell me you're not... Please don't tell me you're getting remarried or something. Dad, I really don't like the sound of that. And so began a very long conversation. I didn't say. Oh. Okay, I got it now. I know how to fix it. Now, instead of jumping, don't take care of the garbage, but don't jump to Kano. We gotta see what Archie does after he gets whapped by the cops. I get it now. A man had come up beside the girl. Yeah, we read all this. And that's when we get hit. And seemingly from everywhere, a whole bunch of other guys burst into motion. First one. Then another. A third, a fourth, a fifth. Over a dozen now. What the fuck? Clearly something big was going down. Were they after the briefcase? Within moments, Archie lost sight of them all through the crowd. With that many people chasing him, the guy with the case was sure to get caught. But wait, what about that girl? Oh. Archie turned back around. The girl was still there. She was staring in the direction that the man who had taken the case had gone, a worried expression on her face. No, we are obviously going to go talk to Hitomi because we know Hitomi is going to get kidnapped here in a second. So if we have someone on him, maybe they'll think we're a detective and back off. Archie couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. Maybe he should talk to her and ask what was going on. But just as he was making up his mind, a middle-aged man in a ratty business suit shuffled awkwardly over to her first. Was there something wrong with one of his legs? He was using a cane to walk. Then one of his hands slipped into his jacket pocket. Archie could scarcely believe his eyes. A revolver? It's actually a Colt Detective Special, a .38 caliber revolver introduced in the 1927 by Colt's Manufacturing Company. A classic example of a stub-no revolver. As the name implies, the weapon is freely carried by detectives, narcotic officers, and the like for self-defense. With a single fluid motion, the man lifted up the gun and pointed it in the girl's direction. He was aiming right for her head! Oh no. Huh? The girl I noticed with the man with the cane now. Seeing the gun pointed right at her, she froze in fear. Oh no. Archie didn't hesitate. Breaking into her phone, he tackled the gunman with all his might. Caught off guard, the man sprawled to the pavement. But the would-be assassin kept hold of his weapon and quickly scrambled back to his feet. Archie knew he had to act fast. He grabbed the ashen-faced girl by the arm and attempted to drag her away. This way, he shouted. She just stared at him, uncomprehending, trembling like a startled animal. Come on, run! Finally, the girl snapped out of her daze and gave a fearful nod. The police box! Let's go! Still pulling the girl by the hand, Archie headed for the police box outside the train station. But it was empty! There were always policemen staffing these things. Why did it have to be unmanned now? Archie flashed a worried glance behind him and saw the assassin in pursuit like a man possessed. Yikes, this is not good. There was nothing they could do but run. With the frightened girl in tow, Archie ran beneath the JR Yamanote Line railway overpass. Quite intense, sometimes crowded as high as 260% capacity. Roughly 300 people riding in a space designed for 143. It operates in the city of Kobe. Don't worry, just trust me, he told her. But first, he sped past a convenience store where an employee was cleaning up the sidewalk. Here, take this, will ya? Archie tossed over the bag of trash. Huh? Wait, what? This way. They slipped through the crowd into a nearby back alley. But this way's a dead end, the girl said breathlessly. Like I said, just trust me. Stopping abruptly, Archie kicked down a wooden plank covering a gap between two buildings, clearing up a space that a person could fit through. See? We can get through here. In you go! But the girl just stood there, looking terrified. What's the matter? Come on, we gotta hurry! But I... She looked at him as if he too was about to pull a gun on her. He could hardly blame her. After all, he was just some random guy who turned up out of nowhere. But this was no time for dawdling. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alleyway. If they just stood there, he was going to catch them. Okay, sweetheart, hear me out. The name's Archie Endo. I live in the neighborhood and I'm not the kind to say neither by when the girl is being chased by some killer. So please, just trust me and I'll do my best to keep you safe. He hoped the look in his eye would convince her that he was being on the level. After a painfully long moment, the girl nodded her acceptance. Phew! Right, let's start with this. They had paused beside an enormous stack of beverage crates. Enjoy Coca-Cola. With a quick shove, Archie knocked the whole pile down, sending it cascading across the pursuer's path. Now that was a close call. The man with the cane was floundering, struggling to get past the fallen crates. My bad, man, Archie called out. Mind cleaning that up for me? He's not. The man scowled back at them and fumbled for his gun. Archie then flashed him a wave goodbye and then slipped away between the buildings with the girl. Hurrying down a narrow alley, they emerged onto a side street lined with dive bars and clubs. Assuming the man with the cane had given up, he'd probably lie in wait on the path back to the main road. Archie decided their best bet was to try and stay inconspicuous rather than risk getting caught on the move. Guess we can lie down low here for a bit, he said. He led the girl to the entrance of a tiny, old hostess club. She followed him reluctantly. Archie flicked the switch and set the front door, and the chintzy chandelier glowed to life. He sat the girl down on a small sofa beside the counter. She gave him a worried look. Archie felt a pang of embarrassment as he realized what she must be thinking. Oh no, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not gonna try any funny business. Someone I know used to run this place. It's not a business anymore, so I figure we're safe here. The girl chuckled at his evident discomfort. Alright then, she said. So we good? We're good. Okay, well, good. Archie made a vague attempt to straighten his disheveled clothes. So how about some introductions? I'm Archie Endo, like I said earlier. You can just call me Archie. I'm Hitomi Osawa. You can call me Hitomi, I guess. With each new word out of Hitomi's mouth, Archie felt his heart sing. She was charming, personable, just about everything about her was captivating. Archie had never met another girl like her. Archie? What? Is something the matter? You were spacing out there for a bit. Archie shook his head to dispel his daze. Damn it! This is no time to get all starry-eyed, Archie. He needed to think of some way to keep her safe from the guy who was after her. Look, can you tell me what the heck's going on here? Please, I need to know if I'm going to help you. Right, okay. I'm not really sure where to begin. Hitomi looked down, lost in thought. Apparently hers was a long story. Alright, she said at last. I guess I'll just explain things as they happened. Wait, hold up. Could you just keep it as simple... Could you keep it as simple as you can? I mean, I'm not really the sharpest tool in the shed. Complicated explanations aren't exactly my strong suit. Okay, Hitomi chuckled. I'll try my best. She got comfortable and then started her story. So, last night someone abducted my sister. The kidnapper demanded that I make the ransom handoff personally. He told me to stand by the statue of Hijako in Shibuya at 10 o'clock in the morning to make the exchange. So I did. This man came by and took the briefcase with the money. Ah, you bitch! They took the briefcase with the money, and then afterwards, that other guy with the cane turned up and pointed his gun at me. And... Whoa! I'm sorry, hold up a damn second. Archie suddenly lost the thread. Oh, they made me skip it. Okay. The thread of the conversation. Could you say that again, but like simpler? Huh? Sure. I'm just having trouble following is all. I mean, is this the plot of some movie or soap opera? No, that's not. Or some kind of hidden camera show? This is real. This really happened. The look in Hitomi's eyes was dead serious. She's gotta be telling the truth. What would be the point of lying? And he'd seen the briefcase and the gunman himself. How much was the ransom, if you don't mind me asking? Hitomi hesitated. 50 million yen. Which, as we learned the last episode, is 480,000 in American dollars. She said after a moment. Archie gave a whistle of amusement. The detectives told me that was a typical amount for a kidnapper to ask for. It's plenty, that's for sure. I guess there's good money in that sort of thing. As soon as his words were out, he realized his blunder. Ah, sorry. I shouldn't have put it that way. He fidgeted awkwardly and Hitomi looked away. I'm an idiot. But okay, I think I get this kidnapping thing. So I'm guessing the guys who chased the guy who took the ransom were undercover cops. He replayed the scene in his head. But then, the kidnapper took the briefcase and ran, right? So if you were empty-handed, why'd that guy with the cane come after you? I'm honestly not sure. Tommy's words trailed off. This was clearly difficult for her to talk about. Anyway, we should probably get you to the place as soon as we... No! We can't do that. Tommy's tone was resolute. I can't take this to the police. Why not? Archie waited for an answer, but none came. After a long and awkward silence, she stood up from her seat. I really appreciate the help, but I should go now. She gave... What the fuck? Are you a robot? She gave Archie a deep bow. And nah, hold on. What do you mean go? Go where? Harry didn't read and she headed for the door. I don't want to cause you any more trouble. I'll figure out the rest on my own. Somehow. Hey! I said hold on! They told me I ignored him and opened the door, and their argument came to an abrupt halt. Oh! Hey, buddy! We were just talking about you. Standing there was the man with the cane, his revolver in his hand. Hey, buddy. Please don't fire that gun at me. Please don't give me a bad ending. Okay, good. I'll take a cliffhanger over a bad ending any day. Archie and Endo's 10 o'clock story ends here. However, Kano still has more to do. Read along further in Kano's story. And that's where I will end the episode. I'll catch you. This game is actually pretty fun. It's a lot of reading for me, but I enjoy it. I enjoy visual novels like this. Alright. On to the next episode.